What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here, and I have got a travel humidor to review for all of you. And in the spirit of it being around 4th of July and our nation's independence, a symbol of our freedom is the bald eagle, which is very appropriate considering this brand of travel humidors goes by the same name. So, to know its features, its size, how many cigars it holds, and all of that, well, let's unbox it together. All right, so let's go through this together. Again, the brand is Bald Eagle, as you can see right there. Really nice foil embossing on the package. Let's open up the box and see what we have inside. All right, comes in this clear plastic bag. Let's take that off. And a couple things that I see right off the bat. Very nice logo right there. You can see, if I go right there, you can see that there's the logo right there. It says Bald Eagle. But look here, something you do not see very often at all on travel humidors. This is a hygrometer. It is analog, it is not digital, as you can see. But let's continue going through this and get some observations and see what we've got here. So it does have a tether or a rope here that you can put around your wrist if you're walking around with it, so it doesn't, get dropped, anything like that. This does feature ABS, crush resistant plastic, so it is very solidly built, very durable, and it holds between 10 and 15 cigars depending on the size. Very, very sturdy, as you can see as I'm opening it up. Very sturdy clasps that hold it shut and click very tightly shut, so you know that it is very secured. And a couple things that I always look for in travel humidors, and this one absolutely has it. There's some instruction and information in there as well. But if you look right here, this right here, that different color, that is a silicone gasket. So what that's going to do is that's going to match up against right here, this part of the plastic. And what it's going to do is it's going to create an airtight seal, meaning your humidity is going to stay inside this humidor. Great that they did that. I've seen a lot of travel humidors that have just a very thin, flimsy silicone that almost isn't even really there. But this one has a very obvious one, very nice. It does feel definitely quality and thick, so it's not anything that appears to be very flimsy or cheap. Like I mentioned, there is the instruction manual that's in there, and then there's this little eyedropper that it comes with so that you can put distilled water into this part right here. So it does have built into it right there, it does have a sponge or foam in there where you can, in this center section, you can take distilled water, you can put the dropper in it, you can drop it in right there, let it absorb in, and then that will help keep your cigars humidified inside here. Yes, you can put in the humidification packs, you can put in Integra Boost, you can put in Bovida, you can put in all those different brands, but this does have it built into it, which is very, very nice. And then with the insides here, like I mentioned, there's an instruction manual. Let's just quickly look at that and see if there's much information. Okay, it does say how to season a new humidor. Important messages. It's designed for temporarily storing cigars. That's an important feature. So many people will get one of these and they'll go, okay, I'm just going to permanently keep my cigars in there. This one states specifically, which I think is a very good thing for the brand, they state that it is for temporary storage of cigars, for traveling with them, for taking them on a trip, in the car for a day, on a long weekend, things like that. Not intended to be long-term storage. Could you use it for that? Sure, you could. You would have to maintain it with the humidification and things like that, like in any other humidor. But it does say that it is for temporary storage of cigars. For long-term maintenance of your cigars, please purchase. And they do have a cedar wood cigar humidor that you can purchase, so you can go and check out that information. Again, the brand is Bald Eagle cigar humidors, high quality products for high quality of life since 2002. So they have been around for over 2 decades now. And so actually for 22 years now. So for quite some time. It does say to check to make sure the hygrometer is between 65 and 75%. And if it is not where it needs to be, then make sure that if it is low, that you use the eyedropper, put the distilled water in like I mentioned a second ago. If it is high, then leave this open for a few minutes, a couple hours, whatever it is, and then close it back up. Maybe you put a few extra drops in and it got a little bit oversaturated. Let it sit open for the next hour or so. Let it evaporate a little bit of that distilled water, and then you should be good to go. And then wipe off any excess water with a tissue. Be careful not to overfill the humidifier. And then cover the humidor and let it sit for at least 2 hours before checking the hygrometer reading again. So they go through and they make sure that you're ensuring the quality storage of your cigars for travel for temporary storage. And then it says to make sure that if you want to ensure a good experience, that the 65 to 75% humidity range or relative humidity range is maintained for at least 12 hours before putting your cigars into this case. Again, a lot of really good information in here. The back does have some information about the company and just sort of a dear valued customer letter and note. So very cool. Put that there. Okay, so if we open this up, you did see already that it's got the sort of egg crate foam that's there. And we do have 1, 2, 3 different layers of this divider foam. And then if I show you the inside here, you can see it is just the hardened ABS plastic. But it is a good amount of space in there, relatively deep, to hold 15 to 20 cigars. I don't see that being an issue whatsoever. 10 to 15 cigars, depending on how many. But you figure you get 3 rows, and if you look at the foam here, so you've got, you know, the grooves here. Let's get it so I can see the light. There we go. So if we've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get 3 rows of this, then you're at 15. If you decide to use this on the bottom row and do 2 layers of cigars, whatever it may be, but you can definitely get 15 cigars in here. 3 rows of 5 is the way that the dividers are set up, and so they have got all of the dividers here for you to use and get everything set up and put in there ready to go for your traveling adventures. Okay, now when talking about the dimensions and storing the cigars, like we were just a second ago, the overall dimensions of this inside is it's about 8.5 inches long by roughly 4 inches wide and about 2.5 inches tall or deep in terms of overall cigar storage area. So that's the internal space and capacity available in this travel humidor here. It is crush resistant, like I mentioned, with the ABS plastic. It is also waterproof because of the very tight latch system that it has on here. Very, very nice. And so I am going to put some cigars in here. I'm going to do the humidification, put a couple of drops of distilled water, and I'm going to see actually how quickly the gauge goes up, the hygrometer goes up, to see how responsive it is. And we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I just put about 8 drops because it's completely dry, nothing inside. The instructions say 6 to 8 drops of the distilled water. I went with 8, went with the maximum, and it started at right around 50% relative humidity. Let's see if I can get this to focus and pick that up so you can see where, there we go, whoa, right there. So you can see it started at 50, and it is already starting to climb its way up a little bit. Right here is where the 50 is at. So it is actually basically dead on at 50. You can see the 60 to 75, 65 to 75 range right there is the ideal spot. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. Let's see how quickly it acclimates and starts to register the humidity, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it's been just a couple minutes, and I'm going to come back and show you what I've put in here. The hygrometer right now is reading at about 53% relative humidity, and it's been about 10 minutes or so. So it does acclimate and adjust, you know, relatively quickly for an analog hygrometer. I know the digital ones are much quicker, but that is where this one is at. No problems with that, in my opinion. It's still getting acclimated and seasoning and doing all that. But I wanted to show you all what it looks like inside here. So I did load it up with, I believe it's 14 cigars that are in here. So let me open this up so you can see what it looks like with those 3 rows of cigars taken up. So I have got this top row here, which has 4 different cigars right there. So you've got that row there of those 4. And then if we peel this back, I'm going to take this off gently and just set them down. If we do that, then we have got the next row of 5 cigars here. I just want you to get an idea of what it's like. I'm going to slide them down. What it's like when you've got 5 in there. So you can see right here. I'm going to come right in front of my face so that it's nice and clear for you. So you can see there's 5 cigars right there, all end up next to each other. There is a little bit of space on the top up here, so if you wanted to put a cutter or a lighter inside there, that was the middle row or middle section, if you will. And then we've got the bottom here that has 5 more cigars. Let me slide them all down so they don't risk falling out. Whoop, get that one down also. And then I've got 5 more cigars that are sitting right there, as you can see. So that's what it looks like with the roughly 15 cigars in here, taking up space, sitting nicely organized. There does not feel like there's any chance or problems with it being crushed. In fact, if you look, they actually sit up just a little bit right there, so that when you close this, it has the nice padding that's on the top that you can see there. And you close it and snap it. I can get the grip. There we go. Close it and snap it. Close it and snap it. And now I am ready to go. And you can throw a cutter, a lighter, whatever you need to in here as well. As you could see, those were Toros for the most part, so between 5.5 and 6 inches long. Plenty of room to put a cutter, a lighter, a couple cutters, couple lighters, whatever it may be. If you're going to go out on the golf course, go out for a weekend, whatever the case may be, this is, in my opinion, a really good option for that. It does seem very sturdy. It does seem very durable. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any issues with it. I mean, if I try and push on it and squeeze, I mean, it is not squeezing hardly at all, which means that it is nice and solidly constructed. So very, very nice. I can see myself traveling with this. In fact, I will be going on a cruise in about a month and a half here, about 2 months, and I am going to take this travel humidor with me on that cruise and test out how it does with durability, with being moved around, with being in my bag, all those different things. And so we will see how this stands up, how the Bald Eagle travel humidor stands the test of time being on that trip. Now, I did mention in this information card here that it talked on the back about how long the company has been around, and that they've been around since 2002 is when they started, or the information on the inside, I believe, is when it was. On the front here says since 2002. The literature and everything that I was provided by the company does give some more clarity information on it. They do actually state that they began doing humidors and all of those different things about a decade ago, and so they've been in the travel humidor arena for that long, for at least a decade. But not only do they do the travel humidors, I mentioned a couple minutes ago that they also do humidors that are wooden desktop ones. So they have a multitude of different styles, from the darker woods to the carbon looking one, the carbon fiber looking ones, to a number of different styles. So Bald Eagle's website is where you can go and find all that information. All of the information as far as where to go and find these products is going to be linked down below in the description, as well as any discount offers that they are wanting to pass on to you, all of my wonderful viewers. Go and check out Bald Eagle. I actually really enjoy this product. It's very solidly built. I do have a few other travel plastic travel humidors, but they only hold about 10 to 12, and honestly, even though it's only an extra 3 to 5 cigars, that makes a big difference. I mean, I'm going to be on a cruise for a week, so I'm going to make sure I have as many as I can to enjoy with myself, my brother-in-law, and my father-in-law while on the cruise. And so, yeah, this will be making the trip with me. But any information that you want to know about Bald Eagle, the brand, the company, all those different things, what they have to offer, please go see the description down below. Click on the links, check it out. Any discount code that is being passed on to all of you to go and purchase this and enjoy and check it out for yourself, then, well, you can find it all down there. But that's going to do it for this unboxing and this review, preliminary review of the Bald Eagle 15 count travel cigar humidor, ABS plastic, waterproof, crush resistant, all those different things. I enjoy it. So, to everybody at Bald Eagle, thank you so much for reaching out, for wanting me to give an honest review and my opinion of this travel humidor, and go from there. But regardless of everything, enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.